If you're even thinking about selling your home right now and you're not listed and you're not sure when you're going to do it, this show is going to be for you. I'm Tom Worley, and I've been on the front lines of real estate for quite some time. And something that I've seen over and over again are people making huge decisions based on bad advice, online estimates, or pressure from what is essentially well-meaning friends. The goal of this show is going to be to cut through all that noise, give you the actual information and the tools that you need to make an educated decision that help you reach your own personal goals, and put it in a way that cuts through that noise in a way that you can actually understand it and apply it to your own situation. Selling a home is one of the biggest financial decisions that anybody's going to make in their lifetime. And somehow, as a society, we expect people to just kind of figure it out and navigate it along the way. Most sellers I work with aren't necessarily confused because they aren't smart. They're confused because there's information overload. Let's not sugarcoat it. There is a ton of information out there about selling homes, about real estate industry in general. But the truth is, too much information without any real context becomes dangerous and becomes information overload. And they start to make bad decisions from that information overload that can result in leaving real money on the table. Here's what I see all the time that people get wrong. They think about pricing before they understand the timing of the market. They renovate things in their home without actually understanding what that return will look like down the road. They wait for that quote perfect market to list, when in reality, their goals may not line up with that perfect market. And they don't necessarily think about what their net proceeds are going to be until they're ready to accept that initial offer, or even worse, until they've already accepted an offer. None of these are because they're careless. It's because nobody actually took the time to educate them on what they need to know about that process. And that's kind of where I'm going to come in. So here's what Tom Talks Real Estate is going to actually be about, especially on the selling side for this first group of episodes. How pricing really works. What goes into pricing? How do you actually land on a number to list your home? What actually matters to the buyers? As somebody who's actively showing properties, I have insight as to what these buyers are looking for in the market. What are they looking at in the home? What is killing deals for the buyer? And what are their objections along the way? What do inspections really mean? What does that mean from the seller's side of the table? When you're doing a home inspection, what are the seller's responsibilities, and how can we navigate that and make sure that we're still keeping that transaction on track to get it across the finish line? What costs go into selling your home? The real costs of selling your home, not just the commission and the payoff of the mortgage. What are all the things along the way that go into selling a home that are going to take money out of the seller's pocket? Let's talk real timelines, realistic, hard timelines that are actually attainable for sellers. Not magic wand over this thing and we're going to sell this place in a week, no big deal. Talk real timelines and where the actual pain points are along the process. And what I'd like to tell you, as I'm sitting across the table from you, as you're doom scrolling TikTok and Instagram and everything else, taking a look at what those videos and adding context to what those actually mean and how that actually applies to you. I'm not here to scare you into selling your home. I'm not here to hype up the market so that you want to sell your home. I'm here to give you all of the information that you need to make an educated decision as to whether or not selling your home is actually in your best interest, whether that means selling now, selling later, or frankly, not selling at all. My job as an advisor, and the way that I've always looked at my job, is to make sure that I give my clients all of the information possible so that they get to make the educated decision on what's best for them. These episodes are short, and that's by design. It's going to be one topic, some real examples, no staged stuff. There will be probably some interviews along the way. I'll bring in some industry professionals to talk about the different sides of a transaction and things like that. But this is going to be real talk, conversational style, really giving you that educational piece. So if you're selling in New Jersey, especially in Hudson County, Bergen County, or Essex County, this is all going to be very relevant to you and what you need to do to accomplish your real estate goals. If you're elsewhere, you're not in northern New Jersey, the principles really should still apply, and they will give you good insight as to what you should be looking for in an agent to make sure that you are getting the best service possible when you're looking to sell your home. So if you think that this stuff's going to be helpful, follow along on the show. If you're Googling a question, chances are that I may already have it lined up for another episode, but drop a comment below and we can start a discussion about it. Feel free to reach out to me directly, and I'm always here to answer any questions you have. And, let's see what we can help out, and see how many sellers we can help out navigate what is a naturally overwhelming and stressful process. The goal here is going to be to make it a little bit less stressful. So follow along and let's get into it.